So fairly highly available. The PC emulator is has morphed over time. Guys, we had two domains in old Windows NT 4.0 days. We had a PDC, primary domain controller, and a BDC, a backup domain controller. You could only have one PDC per domain in old Windows NT 4.0 days. That was back in 1995. So this is old. This was read-write. You made changes to your domain, added user accounts, reset passwords, any changes to your domain, you made it on the PDC. The BDC, all they did was read only. Backups, you couldn't make changes. If you made a change, you had to do it on the PDC. If your PDC was down, your BDC could still work, and people could sign in and things like that, but they couldn't make changes to the domain. Well, in 2000 and later, they had one DC per domain. There was a PDC emulator. So if you had any NT 4.0 domain controllers, BDCs, they could still use that machine as a PDC. Well, it still serves that role, but no one really has any BDCs left in the domain. So it really serves two other purposes now. First is, it's our time clock for our domain. It is our NTP server, which listens to port 123 UDP. On your motherboard is a little tin tube, and in that is a crystal. They attach two wires to either end of the crystal, and they throw a voltage through that crystal. And that crystal vibrates at a relatively consistent rate.
The quartz?
Quartz. It's a quartz crystal, and that keeps time for your computer. It's like the rower in the front of a row team who sits there and says row, row, row. But when they grow that quartz, there's no guarantee that they're going to grow the exact same crystal in every machine. So every machine is a little bit off time-wise. And over time, it'll creep. If you get more than 5 minutes off, you can't sign in. Because if you're 5 minutes off, and every time you send a packet on the network in a Microsoft domain, it signs that ticket, it signs that packet with a Kerberos ticket. If it's 5 minutes off, the DC or whoever you're trying to authenticate against is going to assume that that packet has been taken off the network, altered, and put back on the network. So anytime that you're 5 minutes off, you can't sign in. And all computers will have this time creep. Some might go faster than others, some might go slower than others. So every once in a while, guys, and I can't remember the time frame, if it's once a day, once a week, whatever it is, it'll contact the BDC and synchronize our time. The BDC will contact Microsoft and synchronize our time against the Microsoft server, and the Microsoft servers will synchronize against the Navy clocks, the US Navy clocks, which is the same clocks that we synchronize the satellites to. So I could point the PDC directly to a time clock, like a government time clock, but it's not nice to do so with NAVAC. So that's the number one feature that we use in for the PDC. Number two is passwords. When you change a password, we need that to be replicated immediately. So if you connect to a normal machine and try to change your password, it redirects you to the PDC. Now, when you change a password, it automatically spawns replication to all DCs to update that password. If you disable an account, it replicates that to all machines immediately, because you need that instantly. You can't wait for normal replication cycle, especially across our WAN link. If we change a password, we don't want someone at the other end of the WAN link to wait 2 hours before that password gets updated. If you fire someone and disable their account, you don't want them
To go back in.
To go back.
2 hours to play around and do things to your network. So the PDC is responsible for password changes. It's also responsible for when you sign in and you have a bad password, before it says no, we're gonna reject you, it contacts the PDC and makes sure that there's not an updated password on that as well. So, the PDC is responsible for password synchronization, and they are the authoritative answer on passwords. How highly available does this machine need to be? Yeah, if this goes down, you know, people might not be able to sign in. If someone gets fired, the account disabled, it will take a long time for that to be propagated. This needs to be highly available on a centralized site with fast links. Guys, the last domain role, operation master role, is the infrastructure master. It's responsible for keeping track of other domain objects in our domain. So if I create a group in Contoso called sales users, and in that group, I have a user account from another domain, my infrastructure master is going to keep track of that. It's going to keep track of the GUIDs and possibly a SID. Because remember, within our domain, I use relative IDs to track all the objects. But that relative ID is only good for my domain. It doesn't, the relative ID from another domain has no meaning to me. So I'm to another domain. So it's going to be the infrastructure master's responsibility to keep track of all those other objects through their GUID. The thing is, that's kind of the same role that the global catalog serves at the force-wide level. Sometimes if your infrastructure master is on the same box as your global catalog server, the global catalog server can be tricked into thinking it knows more than it does. When it doesn't, it's just pulling information from the infrastructure master. So what we really want to do is keep our global catalog off the box with our infrastructure master in a multi-domain environment. Some people, like I have one guy, really intelligent kid, he works in a huge network. They put global catalogs on every DC. You know, if you have global catalogs on every DC, it's okay if your global catalog is on the same box as your infrastructure master, as long as every DC has a global catalog. The only problem is, now you're replicating all that global catalog information in every DC. It's just, you're creating a replication nightmare. Every person who can connect to a different global catalog, if they're not in sync, you could be getting different results. My opinion is the way I would do it is have as fewer global catalogs as you can, because it creates less replication traffic and more likely a chance that they're going to be up to date quicker. If I had 2 or 3 global catalogs per site, that would be fine. I don't think I need a global catalog with every DC. And this kid argues with me, it's his opinion. He has nothing to back it up. He tries to pull up things on the internet, but it just says you can do it. It doesn't say it's recommended. So try to keep the global catalog off the infrastructure master. Don't have too many global catalogs. So we currently have 3 operation masters per domain. Guys, and these operation masters are going to be on the first DC of every domain. So how many operation masters do I have total? 5. Or pick any number between 7 and 9.
8.
Yes. I have a schema master. I have a domain naming master, one for forest. I have 2 RIDs, one for Contoso, one for child. I have 2 PDCs, one for Contoso, one for child, and 2 infrastructure masters. Where are they all at? Where's my schema master? DC1. Where is domain naming master? DC1. That's the first DC in our forest. Where is my RID for Contoso?
1, 2, 3,
1 and
5. 3. Over the time.
our first DC in our child domain was DC3. Where's our PDCs? Where is our infrastructure masters? 2 and 3. We never moved the infrastructure master for the child because it's not on a global catalog. We only have, our global catalog is only on DC1. And where's our other global catalog? On our other site, DC5. So we didn't have to move our infrastructure master off of DC3 because it's not a global catalog. Guys, I'm gonna show you how to move them. Guys, right now I'm not really concerned where we move them to, I'm just gonna show you how to move them. Especially this one, because this one, they don't want you to mess with. So they actually hide all the utilities, so you can't mess with it. If you mess with this and you screw it up, what do you get to do?
Start over.
Do it all over again.
Register an account with Indeed.com because you got fired. You know, literally, that's the type of level that you're at. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna go to, I'm trying to prep for the next lab, guys. So I'm gonna go to DC9. And start configuring the IP settings for that. This is not for this lab, this is for the next lab. We're gonna assign an IP address and rename, no, we're not gonna promote it. And assign the IP, rename, install Active Directory, don't promote it, and take it away. I haven't explained what we're going to do with this yet. Done, is that money? Okay, what about DC4? Make it a new domain controller for the child domain. Guys, for your notes, this was page 16. Guys, this is just our next available IP address.
PCB, A, 46,
I'm sorry?
mine is on left.
West, west. Join two networks together and it's the same, No, you're not trying to create a bridge. What you're trying to create is an access point.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. Okay, this is, I know this screwed up. Yeah, give me 1 second. You're a CS16. What is the name of this machine, do you remember? Is it CS? I just found it. Guys, rename and then reboot. Your station number DC9,